back, everybody, to the Paddle and Fin podcast in the Mindset segment. I'm your host, Chris Lipka, and today I got Frankie here, who's been on the show, I believe, two times already before. How you
Chris,
doing, man?
I'm doing great, baby. Woo! What's
Yeah,
up, Slayers? Happy Sunday morning, man.
yeah. So, before we get started, I do want to apologize. My voice is probably cracking up in the trade shows talking all weekend, so just want to apologize for that up front. But other than that, man, how's everything been?
Yeah, everything's good, man. It's we're waiting for spring over here,
Yep.
right in the Northeast. Although it's been a mild winter,
Yeah.
very few lakes have even froze over in upstate Connecticut. So we're just itching for tournament season to begin.
Well, yeah. I mean, we just got hit with the snow this last 2 or 3 days. Other than that, it's been like 50 degrees almost every day in Illinois.
Yeah, it's wild,
Um,
man. It's a wild time.
yeah. So, is there anything specific that you wanted to kind of talk about, or anything like that, or just
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, we could talk about fishing. We could talk about the kayak world, if you like. Obviously, I'd love to talk about Slaynation, what we got going
yeah,
on this year. As you guys can see, one of our title sponsors right here on my head. And yeah, I guess we could talk about mindset, staying
yep,
positive, how to stay positive throughout the winter months and be motivated for your upcoming season. That might be something good to talk about.
yeah, for sure. I know you're a guy who has plenty of hats and a ton of stuff always going on, man.
That's
So,
right. That's right.
so sometimes I don't know how you do it. You got the KFL team, you got the Slay Nation, you still work a full time job. It's
You
like
know,
it's
yeah. Well, they say a rolling rock never grows moss, bro.
yeah,
No, even though I'm 41 years old, I feel like I'm still 18.
yeah. I know you and Brian, man. You guys go and go and go. I know that, but
Yeah, it's called
we
coffee.
can. um. So yeah, we can start with the Slay Nation stuff and then go from there, man.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, thanks for having us on. We always enjoy talking to our paddle and fin friends. And yeah, so this is our fifth season running Slay Nation, so we're calling it our Slay anniversary. It's 5 years in the making, and we're really proud of it. I remember when we first started this thing, lots of haters, lots of naysayers, they calling us a fad, and here we are, fifth season. We continue to grow every year. We had close to 800 members last year. We were in over 23 states. And each year we're just kind of adding a new opportunity, right, to our slayers, right? And people say, oh, what is a slayer, right? So our motto is we turn everyday anglers into slayers. And people, might say, well, what does that mean? So what that means for us is we pride ourselves on being an organization that does a few different things, right? One, we love to highlight our members, right? So over the past few seasons, anybody has seen pictures of from our events. They've seen our popular Monster Bass Club post, which is the biggest bass of an event, which we have just announced our 2023 big bass poster. It's called the Heat Your Meat Hot Seat. And Heat Your Meat is one of our presenting sponsors. So if you like to grill or cook, whatever, they have awesome seasonings, rubs, pickling kits. So go check out heatyourmeat.net and use our code SLAY10 if you want to save some money. So, we pride ourselves on highlighting our members. We pride ourselves on highlighting our directors, right? I know that's, one thing some organizations don't do. They don't highlight the people running the ship. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
without directors, you don't have tournaments. You don't have an organization going on. You have these people that are volunteering to run. So we take pride in emphasizing, all the slayers behind the scenes, and then our sponsors. We take pride in repping our sponsors and talking about them. And so that's what it means to be a slayer. And we want people to feel like they're famous, right? So when we post their picture on Instagram or Facebook and they getting all these likes, like, oh my, like I can't tell you how many times I've had like older gentlemen win the Monster Bass award, and like we post their picture and their daughters or their sons. And I mean, these dads are probably like in their 60s, and then like their nieces, nephews, sons, daughter, like, oh, Dad, I didn't know you were famous. You know, that's like the best thing. That's like the best thing.
Yeah.
I love seeing those comments. So like we take our pride in really highlighting our community, and hopefully other people recognize that and say, hey, let me give this a shot, because we're just trying to be a little bit different. We're trying to make tournaments fun, right?
Yeah.
And how do we do that? Is we highlight these people from across the country that are just like you and I, right? And you know, people like recognition, and that's something we try to work hard on. And you know, so we have a bunch going on. You know, we're still wrapping things up. We're getting new sponsors on board and partners, and you know, finalizing our jerseys, which every member gets a jersey as part of their membership. That's something else we pride ourselves on, is having one of the best membership packages out there in the tournament scene, right? And I think, and arguably, I think we have definitely one of the best packages. You know, for a $60 annual membership fee, right now we already have 37 discount codes, ranging from 10% to 50%, which gives our members plenty of opportunities. All mostly big names we all know in the industry, and then we have small businesses that are trying to up and come, and we can. That's one way we can help get them, you know, into new clients' hands, right? And you know, you get a Slay Nation. This year, you're getting a Slay package, which will be a Z Pro /Slay Nation hat, just like this, but with the Slay logo on it. Richardson 112 face buff with both logos on it, decals, bracelets. You're going to get a towing flag. You're going to get our new jersey, which is it's a 50 SPF hooded, right? Sportswear long sleeve, polyester. And it's going to have the Z Pro fully sublimated, meaning that there's all the colors and text on the sleeves, which in the past we didn't have that capability because we did it in-house. Now we're outsourcing all the logos and sponsors on there. So everybody gets this stuff. You know, you get to compete in any other Slay Nation event with your membership. And if you register by March 1st, you're entered into a drawing, and Z Pro is going to raffle off 2 batteries. So we'll have 2 winners. Somebody will win a 12-volt 30 amp hour, and somebody else is going to win a 12 volt 100 amp hour, amongst some other stuff we're going to do throughout the season. So, you know, we're proud of our membership package, what we could provide, and you know, our members seem to really enjoy that. You know, it's nice getting stuff like that instead of just a decal and a letter. You know, what else are you getting? And so we got that going on. We have a kayak series popping off this year. We have our horsepower series. We have a small vessel series, which is if you have a john boat, canoe, kayak, you could fish as a team, right? We have our Lady Slayers Only online series, which has really kind of taken its own form, which is awesome. Next Generation series, that's a youth online series for kids 8 to 14, get them comfortable into catch, photo, release fishing. And we have a new. Yeah, it's awesome, dude. It's lots of dads taking their kids out, lots of aunts taking their nieces out. It's a great way to get people to go out together because they feel obligated. They have a tournament, right? An online tournament this weekend. Oh, we got to get the hog trough ready, or you know, catch board, or our poles ready. Like, that's what.
Perfect because I got that new kayak last year.
There you go.
He sits in it perfectly. It's a 2-seater from New Canoe.
There it is. Perfect. Yeah. That's what it's all about. And it gets you thinking like that. Yeah. And then we have one of our newest additions is our national online slot series. So it's another online option, and it's a slot series. And basically that means it's your 5 best fish still, 4 up to 18 inches, and you're allowed 1 fish over 18 inches, right? So it kind of like evens out the playing field, gets lots of engagement from across the country. And Alvin Paliani, he used to own Gray Goat Lures, current owner of the American Angler Outdoors. He's been doing a slot series for like 7-8 years on his own. So he's on board and he's going to take charge of that. And that'll be really fun.
Nice. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'll have to definitely get the information on the youth series for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just go on our website, SlayNationTournamentFishing.com. And I got to add the dates, but you could fish 2 days. So like, it's like, you'll see like, you know, for example, May 14th, 15th, you can fish both days, you know, so yeah, in your time zone and all that. So
nice. Definitely. So going from Slay Nation to Connecticut Renegades.
KFL, baby.
Yeah. How is that going for you guys this year?
Yeah, so far so good. It's right. It's like just the prep time, right? Right
Yeah,
now, our guys really, it's really, I feel like right now it's a lot of stuff on like if you're an owner, right, getting
yeah,
sponsorships, trying to bring in some money, which is
yeah,
hard when you have whether you have a team for the first year, or your second year, your third year. I mean, uh, either you got to have like a popular player on your team. How do you go to a company and say, "Hey, we're looking for a sponsor"? Like asking for. I mean, you really got to be really good with your content on social media and promotion, right?
yeah.
That's you have to lean on that.
Yeah,
Um,
we got lucky with we got a lot of local businesses that aren't even in the fishing industry
yeah.
to help us out. And
Well,
we
that's what it is too. Like because I'm the owner of the Renegades, and that's what I do. I try to go. We have companies from last year that have been on board. They're not fishing related, and
yeah,
I feel like those are the companies you got to kind of hit, um, but also they could be a harder sell because they don't know about this fishing stuff. So
yeah,
they might say, "All right, a fishing team. Why would I want to sponsor a fishing team?" Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So you really got to put on your selling cap and say, "Hey, we can try to get you, more exposure to a new clientele. These things, some of these games get aired and televised to an audience on YouTube and Motion Sports. So you really got to try to
yeah,
know what you're doing and be a good talker. But it's also good practice. Like it's good practice to for your players too. Try to teach them like how to get personal sponsors, right, and do a write up and a media kit. So we're in that stage. We got some new players from last year, so we got we've added our team, rounded it out pretty well. We got some really good anglers. So that's pretty much where we're at as the planning stage. Who's fishing when, who's got time off.
yeah. That's
You're probably going through
interesting.
the same thing.
Yep.
It's the same thing, and then you're just waiting for April 22nd roll around and for that season to kick off, and we'll see how things play out this season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Because I know I think we go all the way down to Alabama this year.
Oh,
One
you're oh
one or
wow,
2 weeks.
okay.
One team in the Midwest I think dropped out, and that put us in Alabama.
Oh, what team was that? Oh, was that the
Not exact, not exactly sure.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah, I'm
know,
not either. Okay.
but I'm looking forward to it, man. First year doing it. I mean, I've seen you do it. I've seen Dan do it. The team who won last year.
Yeah.
So looks like it's gonna be a ton of fun.
Yeah, it is fun. I mean, I don't fish. I'm not a player.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's the fun part.
yeah,
Being the owner, you're kind of like trying to keep, all the puzzle pieces together. But, whatever. It is what it is. I enjoy providing the opportunity to Connecticut anglers.
yeah. That's what I said. I said it's perfect to kind of because it's broadcasted on YouTube. It's a good thing for us to show what Illinois waters can do because anytime people think Illinois fishing, they
Yeah.
think that we don't have any fish.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
it's perfect for us to show
Like
people like,
Connecticut. Yeah.
look what we have.
Yeah. Absolutely. Same thing with Connecticut.
Yeah,
Everybody hears about Candlewood Lake. That's our best one, but it gets beat up. Like
yeah,
it still produces, but we have other bodies of water. We have some rivers, and everybody just thinks we're putting people in Candlewood, and we're not. We're not.
yeah,
That is one of our home lakes, but the Connecticut River is also our second body of water, and that's a great body of water. There's some big largemouth and smallmouth in that place.
yeah. I got same thing here. Um, yeah. I mean, other than that, man, do you have any positive stuff you want to talk about? I know you're always positive, high energy, sir. So I know you got something.
Yeah, yeah. I think this is like a shout out. I mean, this can go out to anybody really, but like any of the tournament directors out
Yeah,
there, right? I feel like when you're a tournament director, right, obviously you're choosing to be that role. It's a thankless role, meaning, I mean, granted, everybody will say thank you and appreciative, but you're taking time out to be a volunteer to run a series, a club, whatever it is, get permits, try to reach out and get prizes and
yeah,
things of that nature. But like for any tournament angler out there, you're always going to go through some bumps and bruises, right? You might have to, release a member or an angler. And, you always, my advice, we currently just had to go through this like last week. And I've dealt with some stuff last year too. But what I'm saying is, if your gut always tells you it's the right thing to do, don't be afraid to follow your gut, right?
Yeah.
You always want to know that you're doing the best for the majority, right? For the majority. And that means taking care of your club. Your club comes first over an individual angler's needs, wants, complaints, whatever it might be. And if you do that and you act on it, that's the biggest thing. Do not tell people, hey, yes, I'm going to remove this person. I'm going to take care of the situation. And you don't. That's the worst thing you can do as a tournament director, is not take care of it, because then you lose your credibility. And then, your members may feel disappointed, feel like they can't count on it. So my advice is, although you might not like conflict in a phone call or an email or whatever you got to do, you have to do it, because after you do it, you're going to feel much better about yourself and that you made the right decision. So any advice would be for tournament directors prepping for the season that maybe are dealing with a situation or might deal with a situation. Here's some advice. Do what's always best for the group and true to your heart. You'll feel better at night, and make sure you follow through on it. That is the best advice I could give anybody, because then you made the right decision, and you'll gain even more respect for doing that. And as a tournament director, you got to make some tough calls sometimes, tough judgment calls.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's your best friend, a new angler in the club, it doesn't matter. You gotta hold everybody accountable for their actions and their knowledge of the rules. They don't ask you a question that you just assume they know the rules because they don't ask. So I would say, stay positive, and yeah, you're like, oh, it puts a pit in your gut, but you move forward and you're going to feel better, and think about all the other members that you're making happy. That would be some advice I would give any TD starting off this year, right? I know we have some new ones for the first time, and I've talked to them about this. And then as an angler, right, like go out there and just go fish, right? Don't worry about, sometimes don't worry about having your GoPro on. Like sometimes go out there and just go fish, right?
Yeah,
and
that's what I ran into a lot last year. Personally, with me last year, it got, and I talked to Brian about this, and I think I mentioned it on the podcast, where I got so, like, I don't know if it was obsessed or not, where I felt like I had to go out and fish just to post to social media or something like that. And when you start thinking with that mindset, you start not enjoying it. And then once I was able to just not care and just go out and just have fun, it became fun again.
Yeah, you can't fish for the camera. Fish for your heart. Fish for your heart. Like if you really want to make it in the game, you can't fish for the camera. Go fish for your heart, right? And then the other stuff will come, right? That's because I feel like nowadays, right? It's just all like it's like look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look what I'm doing, look at me, right? That starts to be a turnoff. I'd rather root for the angler that's like grinding, and then all right, they got their skill set down, and then they're capturing some of these moments. But I just feel like you could tell when someone's fishing for the camera, right? You could tell. It's easy to spot nowadays. We all know, we're all pretty well versed in social media and this and that, and it's like, just go fish hard, right? And all the good stuff will happen. But I just feel like it's right now, the whole content creation is almost taking over. Like, think about it for a second. If you want to go into KFL or you want to run a club, you have to be like a content creator. That's it. It's taking over the whole fishing aspect. It's like, if you don't have sponsors, if you don't have this, it's like you're nobody, and that's not true. You know what I mean? Like I hate to say it, but let's not lose sight of why we love this sport, because we love to fish. You know what I mean? And then, there's very few people that are doing it for a living that need the content, that need to do these blogs and these videos. Like, other than that, just go fish, and other stuff will come, man. Other stuff will come, but just like, electronics are now heavily in the game. It's like, just go slay, go fish, right? All that other stuff will come later, but stop trying to just be famous all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stop trying to be
Yeah,
famous all
no,
the time.
that's 100%
Just
true.
just go fish. People will love you more.
Yeah. Yeah, and very few get to actually make it in this industry, man. I've
Oh,
learned
it's so
that
tough. It's so tough.
in
And the people that have been doing it for years.
yes. Like Brian, he's been doing it for over 10 years now, and
Yeah.
he finally got a position with the fishing company that
Yeah.
he absolutely loves. It's not, he's not the content creator, but it's something that he loves to do. We did a podcast on it, I think, a couple weeks ago.
I'll have
He's
to go
like,
back and listen.
where he said, like, he's like, yeah, I don't get to fish every day, but I get to go and talk fishing and talk hunting every single day, and I love doing that. So
Yeah. He built, well, what Bry did, he built his value,
yeah,
right? And value doesn't, you can't build your value overnight, right? Like you just can't, it takes time, it takes patience. And, and that's how you can tell the difference between people, the ones that stick it out or the ones that, oh, well, I didn't get so many views in this year or this month. And then you see them drop off. It's like, well,
yeah,
then you're not in it for the right thing. You're just in it for the views. Like
yeah,
you're just in it to be famous. Like, no, grind out and build value. There's a difference between trying to be famous and building value, right? Value is you're building knowledge, right? You networked in the industry. You're well respected. It's not because you posted a crazy video and you got all these people that saw it that aren't even probably a part of the fishing industry. It's like building value and your reputation. That's what I've seen in the fishing world. If I learned anything, it's build your reputation by being a good person and being honest and loyal, and also building your value, meaning like you're grinding. People see that you're trying to build towards something, right? And Brian did that. He got an offer from a company because they saw value in what he was.
yeah,
They saw value in him, right? We have a knowledgeable guy. He's got a good reputation. He's been working hard. We have a position open. Let's reach out. Like that's how it goes.
yeah. That's how it goes. And I just wish it was talked about more. Everybody talks about how you gotta just post and you can fish. Well, the mindset of a lot of younger generation people, guys who are coming either in high school or just coming out of high school, is, oh, we'll be Instagram famous, we'll be YouTube famous, or something like that. Instead of looking at the bigger picture of, hey, why don't we just keep doing what we love, and then also either go to college, get these degrees, and then maybe when I come out, I can work for a fishing company instead of working for a company that I'm not gonna like, and still get to do what you love, just in a different way.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're younger now, you have so many more options than
Yeah,
many people did my age and stuff, especially
yeah,
like YouTube. But at the same time, like you got to understand all those anglers or guys, gals, whoever's on you, anybody, influencers, they haven't been just doing it for like a year. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like they've been doing it for like years, 10, 15 years. And I mean, if that's what you love, you got to double down on it. But at the
oh
same time, fishing, you got to be able to fish. You know what I mean? And you got to, when you go to a trade show and you have a YouTube, let's just say you have a YouTuber, fishing YouTuber, whatever you want to say, and you go to a trade show and you start talking fishing, you can tell when someone knows something and when they don't. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So like
oh yeah, you
you can't,
right away.
yeah, you can't keep faking it. Exactly. Just because you have nice equipment doesn't mean you can talk fishing with, with anybody, whether they're young or old. They get sniffed out pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah, you can tell right away. Like I'm at the Chicago trade show this weekend,
Yeah.
and you get a couple of those people, but it hasn't been too bad. It's a lot of people interested in the kayaks, but especially with gas and everything else going up in the world. We don't have to get into that, but a
Yeah.
lot of people now interested in the kayaks just because they don't want to spend the money on the boat or the gas, or even if they can afford the boat.
Yeah. Well,
And,
there's some big boat guys getting into kayak fishing.
yeah,
Greg DePalma out of New Jersey. He's
yeah,
a Bassmaster Elite Series angler. He's fishing, I think, some Hobie events, some Bass Nation Kayak Series events. I think he has an Old Town that came into his house. And you're going to start seeing that, which is great. It's great. And like,
it's great.
you,
It's
you
great to
need,
have crossover.
yes, and you need some big names in the industry
Yes,
because those companies are going to follow them and be like, oh, well, what's going on over here?
yes, it only
Um,
helps. It
Yeah.
only helps. And you sometimes hear people, well, they should just stick to what they're doing. No, it helps. It helps everybody.
You
But
can't.
you got a guy who has tons of following and is posting about kayak fishing on
Yeah.
top of boats.
Yeah. Well, you got to be inclusive. That's what it's all
Yeah,
about, right? People saying inclusivity, and then at the same time they're like trying to keep some people out. It's like, well, what do you want here? Like, what do you like? It's a sport that anybody can get into. That's how it's presented, right? Well, there should be no issues. The more the merrier. It's just building the sport, like, and also get over it. Who cares? What I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, how cool would it be to fish in a kayak event with a real pro? Like an Elite Series pro. Like, dude, I don't even care if I came in last. It'd be great to be able to say, hey, I competed in an event with a pro. Like, that's pretty
yeah,
cool. A lot of people are going to go gaga over that.
yeah. I think if you could fit, if you whatever you can afford to fish out of, that's the best thing to do,
That's it. That's
man.
it. Just go slay, baby.
And whatever makes you happy, man.
And that's it. If you only got one life, just go do
Yeah,
you. Straight up.
we're closing in on about half an hour.
Okay.
You have any final thoughts or anything we haven't touched on there?
Not really. I just would love to give a shout out to our sponsors, right? I'll
Yep.
give a shout out to our title sponsor and our presenting sponsors right now for 2023, which Z Pro Lithium is our title sponsor for this and next season. So if you're lithium's the way to go, right? Especially,
Yep, I got one that Brian has like four of them in his
yeah,
company.
lithium's the way to
It's
go. So much lighter, you last longer. Z Pro has everything you need from 12 volts, 10 amp hours to everything, all the way up to 36-volt, 50 amp hours. Go check out Z Pro. It's a game changer. I know I'm a John boat fisherman, and when I replaced my lead acid, I mean, I replaced like over 100 pounds, and
yep,
at one 12 volt 100 amp hour lithium, I'm good for a few tournaments without even charging it. So go check out Z Pro Lithium. All Slaynations members get a discount. We have some presenting sponsors, X Zone Lures, who we're really proud to be working with.
yeah, I've
I bet.
seen that. We started working with them too. That's an
Yeah,
awesome,
X Zone's awesome.
awesome
I've
company.
known Jim since I started Slaynation. I called him way back in like 2019, 2018, before that first season started. It's been great to see X Zone grow, and the Rod Glove. They own the Rod Glove too, which is like just a booming
Yeah, no,
business for.
yeah, I've heard him on a podcast, on a different podcast, of
Yeah,
how he got started and everything. It's amazing
yeah, he's a
what
really
they've
good.
been
Yeah,
able to do.
they've been awesome, and so we're proud to have them on board. All members get a great discount with X Zone. We have Heat Your Meat, right? Heat Your Meat is a seasoning company, veteran owned, out of Connecticut, right? Out of Connecticut. And we're excited to have them on board. All different kinds of seasonings, everything bagel seasoning to hot seasonings, mild seasonings, pickling kits, rub kits, you name it. They got everything. Heatyourmeat.net. Our code is SLAYN10. You can save some money there. Hookset Hoodlums, which I'm rocking one of their hoodies right now, is back on board as a presenting sponsor. Another veteran-owned organization out of Connecticut. Apparel, awesome sweatshirts, long sleeve shirts, tees, tanks, decals, hats. So go check out Hookset Hoodlums, #Ride or Collide. And one of our last presenting sponsors is Harmony Fishing Company, right? They make, I mean, John's been with us since I started Slaynation, right? The very first year. Hooks, everything made in the USA. I mean, some of the sharpest, best hooks. I mean, I put them up against any other hook in the industry. Gamakatsu, VMC, Trocar, you name it. Awesome hooks. They have a Toad series, a prop hook, which is great for topwater baits. Has a little prop in the front of the front of the shank. Really unique. I highly suggest it if you like topwater. So go check out Harmony Fishing. And we're still in the talks with some other presenting sponsors. We'll see what happens. So we're excited to work with a lot of new companies and returning companies this year.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Oh, I know it's been an early one. Well, at least
Yeah,
for me, it's like because we're an hour ahead, so for me it was like think 6 o'clock I got up today.
You got up at 6?
Yeah, yeah. So, but it's early
Nice.
one. It's a great one, man. It's a great way to start the day, man.
Absolutely, brother. Yeah, man.
So
Thanks for having us on.
No problem. It's been a pleasure, man. You're welcome anytime.
Yeah, enjoy the trade show. You know, if you see, I don't know if you see any of the boys there, tell them I said Happy New Year.
Oh, we'll do, man.
All right, Chris, take care, brother. Slay all day, baby.
You too,
all
man.
Right, man.
Bye.
Peace.